Time, it marches forward, right? We often think of it as a constant, unchanging force, a straight line from the past to the present, a journey that seems so predictable. But history, like a playful trickster, sometimes bends that line, creating unexpected twists and turns. It throws curveballs at our understanding of time, challenging what we think we know. Get ready for some historical head-scratchers that will leave you puzzled and intrigued. These facts might just make you question everything you thought you knew about the past and how it connects to the present. Think about ancient civilizations, long gone, yet still influencing us today. We study their ruins, their artifacts, trying to piece together their stories. It feels like a different time, far removed from our own, yet strangely familiar. But some historical events are closer than they appear, almost as if they happened just yesterday. Let's dive into the fascinating world of historical time twists where the past and present collide. These stories will show you just how relative time can be and how interconnected our histories truly are. Ready to have your mind blown? Let's embark on this journey together. The Pyramids of Giza, massive, ancient, shrouded in mystery. We picture pharaohs, deserts, a time long past. But here's a mind-bender. Woolly mammoths were still roaming Earth while the pyramids were being built. Yes, you read that right. These giant creatures, icons of the Ice Age, coexisted with the pyramid builders. It's a reminder that different parts of the world progress at different paces. While one civilization was reaching for the stars, another shared the planet with creatures from the last Ice Age. Time isn't always a straight line. Sometimes it's more like a braided rope, with different strands representing different stories unfolding at their own rhythm. Cleopatra, the last pharaoh of Egypt. Her story is one of intrigue, romance, and tragedy. She feels like a figure from a distant epic. But here's a fact that warps time. Cleopatra lived closer to the invention of the iPhone than the construction of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Think about that for a second. The gap between Cleopatra and the first iPhone is smaller than the gap between her and the building of those iconic pyramids. It's a startling reminder that ancient history isn't always as ancient as we think. History can be full of these surprising temporal jumps. It's time for another. Section 4, Ancient Olympics. A surprisingly recent event, the Olympics. A tradition stretching back to ancient Greece. A civilization known for its rich history and cultural achievements. We picture athletes competing in togas, embodying the spirit of competition and excellence. It was a time of gods and legends where mythology and reality intertwined. But the last ancient Olympic Games were held in 393 AD, marking the end of an era. That's closer to the founding of the United States in 1776 than it is to the reign of Cleopatra in ancient Egypt. It's a jarring realization. We often lump ancient Greece and ancient Egypt together in our minds, imagining them as part of the same distant past, picturing them as equally distant, yet they are separated by vast stretches of time. But the Olympics, a cornerstone of ancient Greek culture, were held much later than many other ancient events. They were a relatively recent event in the grand scheme of history, closer to our modern era than we might think. These temporal twists and turns show us that our understanding of time is often subjective. It's all relative, and history is full of surprising connections. Section 5. The Time Traveler's Paradox. Did Shakespeare meet Lincoln? This one's a thought experiment, a playful paradox that stretches the imagination. Imagine a time traveler who goes back in time to meet William Shakespeare, the legendary playwright. Let's say this time traveler was born in 1900, at the dawn of the 20th century. Now imagine another time traveler who goes back to meet Abraham Lincoln, the iconic American president. This traveler was born in the year 2000 at the turn of the 21st century. These two time travelers, despite their different origins, could theoretically meet each other. One would have met Shakespeare, the other Lincoln, bridging two distinct historical eras. Yet they were both born a century apart, separated by 100 years. It's a mind-bending illustration of how time travel could completely scramble our understanding of chronology, mixing past and future. While time travel remains a fantasy, this thought experiment highlights the flexible and often perplexing nature of time itself, challenging our perception of history. Section 6. Time's Unfolding Mystery. A final thought. Time. It's a river, flowing from the past to the future. But as we've seen, it can also be a mischievous imp toying with our perception. History is full of these temporal surprises. moments that challenge our understanding of chronology. So the next time you think about the past, remember time is a slippery thing. It can be stretched, compressed, even seemingly reversed. Keep an open mind, and you might just find that the past is closer and stranger than you ever imagined.